Here we go.
A couple weeks back, we decided to get our blood work done. We wanted to check our testosterone levels and also get drug tested.
It's funny because we've actually never gotten our testosterone levels or even our banned substances tested. And it's kind of funny because the test that we took, there's over 40 banned substances. So yeah, we went in, got the blood test done. I got mine first. I told Brennan, hey, you should do yours as well, because not only would it make a fun video like the one we're doing right now, but it'd kind of give us an insight into where we're at. Well, we have the results.
The results are in, hot off the press.
This is like the fitness influencer version of a gender reveal.
Yeah, like the baby gender reveal.
It's a steroid. Oh, shit. I'm having a Diana ball.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, I know. Well, exactly, because I'm actually surprised how nervous I got. You think, just for those of you watching, of course, we are natural. We've always been natural. We've never taken any kind of testosterone replacement, any kind of steroid. So that's where we're at. You can make of that with what you will. 50% of you will believe us. 50% of you will leave a comment saying that's not true. And that's just the state of the fitness industry. So I'm going to go over mine right now. This is the steroid test, over 40 banned substances. As you can see here, you can see all the names, what they are. It's looking pretty
I don't
damn
even
good,
know
baby.
99% of what this stuff is.
I know. It's a little wild.
Yeah.
Some of them, you go, okay, I've heard of that before. Trembolone. But for instance, Testosterone, 6A meth. Basically meth. That's just what I'm going to start and end on. We got another meth. We got another meth. We got another meth. Yeah, it's good, baby. It's
all green.
Good.
All
Yeah.
in the green. You're clear.
Hell yeah.
Another really interesting part of this is not only the banned substances, it was the testosterone levels.
Yeah.
Obviously been working out most of our lives since we were teens, old enough to actually go to the gym. And we've built our physiques up over the years, but it is definitely something that, I've never taken before to see what my natural testosterone levels are. And that's always kind of like a thing, right? You always hear that like, oh, my testosterone level's this, and oh, they're low. So you should maybe take some replacement therapy because you're too low. And
it's become more and more of a big deal because, we've been doing this for 12 years, which is a little mind blowing when you think about it. So we've seen a lot in that period of time, and we've tried to keep, our finger on the pulse of kind of fitness, especially online, because that's what we do. And there was a pretty big amount of fitness influencers, you could say, back in 2012 when we started. But there's literally probably 10,000 more now. It's just flooded. And the opinion on even steroids and testosterone has changed substantially because 12 years ago, you were still blacklisted. If it was like,
people found out. Oh yeah. Like they would riot in a way.
I can think of a few people off the top of my head when they kind of popped. They were doing a competition. Their careers were basically never the same because they claimed Natty. And then they found out they weren't, and their stock just dropped. Well, nowadays it's gotten so ingrained. There's no real stigma anymore. It's just like, yeah, I do steroids, and here's my cycle. And in a way, that's good because that transparency is good. But at the same time, it's a little sad because what happened to the naturals? And why are you doing it? Is it like a moral thing? Is it a health choice? For us personally, it is definitely a health decision. I have done research into it. There's a couple times in my life where one particular episode, there was a guy we knew. I hadn't seen him for a couple months. He came in the gym. He went looking like a 135-pound soaking wet dude to literally Franco Columbo in like a 12-month period. And I was so distraught. I went right home and just started researching steroids.
I went right home and started crying.
Basically, it was a mix of tears. Tears were just falling on the keyboard as I was like, how do you get big using steroids? Because it was so frustrating because I looked at myself in the mirror in the gym next to him and I thought, I look like shit. It was like a body dysmorphic disorder that had just started just like that.
And that's the big thing of people say, well, they still have to work hard. They still have to train and eat right and stuff. And that is true to a point. But, taking those kind of extra substances are gonna just skyrocket you, not like past the natural.
You
like
become
right
a superhuman, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen it firsthand. I'm sure many of you watching has seen it firsthand. And some of you decide to do it. And again, if it's the transparency, that's fine. I feel there's a little bit now, you have people who get money and success and fame and they go, oh, but I wouldn't advise kids to do it. But then you're like, dude, they're watching you. You have the brand new car. You have the money. You have the fame. Well, of course they're going to want to do it too because they see the fame it's brought you. But then you're the one going,
oh, but you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, because it's not worth it, as they're getting like the hair transplant in Turkey or something. And
very hypocritical. That's the problem.
Full set of hair, baby.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, Brandon's short. Brandon's losing it, but it's by his own design.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have too much.
Yeah, it is.
I have the hair testosterone gene.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we need to get to Brandon's steroid test.
Yeah, exactly. And I took the exact same test, it's going
sports steroid panel.
Yep. All the same substances, everything in the green.
Well,
I mean, I wasn't really too nervous other than when Hudson was maybe saying, hey, I mean, like you look at UFC fighters or any kind of athletes and they'll get popped and they're like, I just took like a Tylenol or like cough syrup. And I was like, what? Is that actually true?
Yeah.
So it was a little weird because I'm like, well, what if something comes up? Like, I don't really
It all kind of started because me and Brandon were seriously thinking about entering a natural bodybuilding competition. And of course, they drug test pretty rigorously in addition to a lie detector test I don't know how I feel about that because I don't know. And again, someone more educated could kind of drop a comment, but how reliable and accurate those are. But I mean, they've been using them, so they must work for what they need them for. But that was kind of what started us going, well, let's just do it ourselves to see what happens. So now it's testosterone time.
It is the testosterone time.
I think we'll let Brandon go first on this.
So my official testosterone level is 739.
Damn.
Now there's a few things to keep in mind. They ask you to do it in the morning without eating anything. And I achieved both those. I think mine was around 8 a.m. in the morning. Didn't have anything to eat. Came in, got my blood drawn, and it was pretty quick. A few days later, got the test back. So very easy. But yours is a little different story.
Yeah. Well, I went in at 8, but I didn't make an appointment. So they said, we got to make an appointment. I said, okay. So I was fasted as well. And I came back a couple hours later at 11:30 and I took mine. For those of you who have done blood work, done testosterone tests, they say you usually want to do it like 2 to 3 times to get you can find the average. Well, I got mine back and oh boy.
It's a disaster.
It is a disaster. Lives will be changed forever. It's 328. And just for those of you who know and who want to know, an average range is between 250 to 1100. But right below my result of 328, it says men with clinically significant symptoms and testosterone values repeatedly in the range of 2 to 300 or less may benefit from testosterone treatment after adequate.
Hey, the little dealer in the corner.
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
I walked out of the clinic and the guy with the trench coat was like, you look like you need male rejuvenation therapy. I was like, oh shit.
Like, god damn.
So that was a little bit of a shock to me. I gotta say I don't like it. I mean, 328, that's extremely low. And I thought about it and I thought, what do I do? And again, as we were mentioning earlier, I'm not ready to do TRT, get any steroids.
Well, I think this is the problem. It all comes back to this is, someone that's curious, and I think more and more people with the availability of this kind of thing in the knowledge of it will go out, get a testosterone test. It comes back maybe a little bit lower than they want. Immediately, they'll probably want to jump on TRT without maybe having a good workout schedule, good eating habits, sleeping, their drinking, whatever it is. There's steps you can take to improve that naturally before just going to like a medical.
Exactly. And playing off what you just said, I mean, my sleep was okay, but it could be better. My workouts were okay, could be better. I was drinking. This has inspired me with this video and with this test is for the next 3 months, I don't want to drink. I want to get on a super solid workout schedule. I want to try to eat a lot of foods which have been proven to kind of aid in natural testosterone production. And I'm kind of excited about it because I want it to be a series of videos showing if it's even possible. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'll do this for the next 3 months and then I'll come back and we'll do a follow-up, which we're going to do. And then I'll be like, well, now my testosterone's 300. You never know. But I want to see how far I can push myself naturally, and that's going to be the goal for the rest of this year.
Yeah, I mean, you look that up to say, like, how do I increase my natural testosterone? There's a lot of different ways to do it, a lot of suggestions on how to do it. But is it possible, and how much of a difference can you make? So I think this is going to be a great way to prove that in a way, at least for, personal.
I'm going to be the buff dude guinea pig baby. Yeah. Brandon's already like 7 something. So, he's, I just got to catch up with him for God's sakes. So that's going to be the goal though. That is my personal goal. Get to, and I'm not looking to even 700. If I could even get up to maybe like 500, I would be happy with that. Or at least see if I can improve it in some capacity. So that's going to be what I'm going to be working on. Those are the kind of video content we want to be putting out. I didn't experience and have not really experienced any of the symptoms of low testosterone, the fatigue, things of that nature. So I feel good, but I want to see if I can feel better.
That's what's interesting. You look at that testosterone, you wouldn't typically see that as a high number, but you look at your physique and the kind of shape you've been in, and you would never guess. You would never say like, oh, well, this guy has a lower testosterone. So, I mean, that's what's funny about the kind of like, it's probably easy to get caught up too much in that, but at the same time, it is good to have that knowledge, to have those numbers. It gives you a good goal too. You're like, hey, I want to try to raise this. I want to try to better myself.
I think it is a good goal. It's always good to have a goal, and you can feel a little directionless. So this is my direction. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, hey, if you're curious, do it yourself. Let us know maybe your thoughts on if you've done it, what you've tried to do to improve it naturally, and also want to give a quick shout out to TLF Apparel. We're wearing their clothes. Use code TLF-buff for 15% off on their website. We love the way they fit. We wear them all the time. And until next time, stay buff.